Well, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Repressed Humor Issues. Today,
Also known as the shit show.
well, oh yes, because I shat my pants earlier. But I'm back pain, or Ryan. Today I do have it, so it was very relevant and timely.
I'm Dark Helmet doing ludicrous speed here, Dan.
And I also have back pain, but I'm Wagbag.
And this is our special guest today, Joe, just so everybody's aware.
Also known as Wagbag. Until
Yes.
notice.
We'll still reference you as Joe just because remembering Wagbag just brings up so many traumatic memories of the last 17 minutes.
There is a Wagbag brand which I absolutely think is hilarious. It's called El Crap. You know El Cap, like El Capitan.
That's awesome.
The brand that makes Wagbags called El Crap.
Yeah, so you better explain what that is because people are going to conflate that with swag bags, and you don't want to go digging in that swag bag.
No, I would give that swag bag to a select few citizens of this planet, but not many. A wag bag is for us wilderness people when you're out in the wild and you got to do a poo. You have to do something with it. So if some parks will allow you to just take a trowel, dig a hole, do your biz, get on with joy in life. Wag bags are for national parks where that is not allowed. It's a leave no trace. You enter and exit with the same things, which means anything that you enter with, including what's inside you, has to go out with you. So it's going to have to go in a bag called a wag bag.
I have a clarifying question on this because this is where my mind goes, unfortunately. And I know this is not the topic at hand, but here we go. Once you relieve yourself into... is it on said ground first, or are you aiming for bag immediately?
Oh no, it's a journey.
Well, I'm just trying to mentally envision, is this just I'm picking up my dog shit, but it's my shit?
I mean, you could. I mean, you do you know. These are designed. It's a generously sized bag. With an inner bag and an outer bag. This is a glamorous one, right? And so you hold the whole thing up, you squat, really feel that quad burn, right? Get to that point where your legs are shaking really, really well, and then just keep squatting for a little while.
The visual imagery here is just out of this world.
I just would have expected, the goal is to find a rock with a sharp drop-off ledge and use it like a normal toilet the best you can.
Wait, are you scratching your butt like a bear? Is that
I was wondering, are you using that to slice it if it gets stuck? What are you doing with that edge?
The poop knife.
Well,
poop knife. We're back to poop knife.
You've made reference to poop knife before.
Yes, I have.
God. Oh. Okay. All right. Well, I this is from the guy that never goes camping since he was 5, because I had a bear in our camp and that was the last time.
Ooh.
So yeah,
that was fun.
Wait,
were you awake for this? Was this
night? Oh yeah, I pissed all over my sleeping bag.
As one does.
And then just sat in it because you didn't want to tell anybody, right?
Oh no, I woke everyone up with that. There's a bear. Oh, I pissed my sleeping bag. There's a bear.
The gentle stream. Did the thought occur to you that you were cocooned in a sleeping bag and you at that moment were essentially a human burrito?
My 5-year-old mind probably wasn't in burrito land.
5?
Yeah.
Oh my God, poor you. This explains so much.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Were you eating salami in it and the bear was sniffing around, or?
No one else got to see that hand motion that you just made, but never do that again.
Okay, well, so we've got a lot to talk about today. A couple of things. Ryan and I decided we're not going to do the fake advertiser thing anymore. But that bit has run as far as it can go. I think we beat that to death pretty much. So no more fake advertisers. But if anybody wants to be a real advertiser on here, we're willing to listen to, depending on how much money you're willing to give us. Second thing, I'm pretty pissed off at our audience right now. I did a lot of work about a month ago. This was to avoid problems with the music that we're using on the intro, I went and found new intro and different exit music for this, edited all of the previous episodes to be able to make sure we had licenses for everything, and nobody fucking commented. Nobody said anything. Nobody even fucking noticed.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think you did all the work. I think you did the majority, but I think I had to pick some songs.
Oh, wow. You're so involved in that process.
What? I just want to get some credit.
I'm just thinking like there's probably a class action lawsuit that's just like in the mail right now. It's just making its way slowly to you.
If that artist came after us, they would probably owe us money for as little listeners as we have.
Yes. I mean, we could blame it all on them. That's it. It was the old music that was the problem.
Yeah. Onwards and upwards.
So I'm pissed off at all of you people that did not comment. We got no emails about the intro music at repressedhumorissues@gmail.com or clowncollegeboy@gmail.com. Yes, that is Ryan's alternate email address.
Wait, it was clown what?
Clown college boy.
Yeah.
Did you even go to college?
Oh, wow. The look on his face when he said that, like, you don't look like the kind of person that made it to college. You look like the kind of person that peed your sleeping bag repeatedly.
Last weekend.
Look, at this point, it's a kink, okay?
And now it's an HR moment.
Can I make a request for the intro song? Because we haven't mixed it in yet, right?
Right, but we have a standard song that we use.
I think it should be the Bayahi song. You know yeah.
Okay, so
Numa.
Yes, that's what it is.
Joe's going to be our new sponsor, so we can afford to get actual decent music as opposed to the stuff that we're running right now that we paid $15 for online. And you will see we have the licenses to it, but I thought this would be a good time to see how well people pay attention to our show. And in doing so, I want to see how well Ryan paid attention to our show. So I'm going to give him a little quiz right now. Yeah. This is like the quiz that he gave me in the office, but I already expect him to fail.
The best kind of quiz.
So, question 1. And we talked about this. So we literally talked about this in the past week. So I got to see how much you were paying attention. How many seconds into the intro music is it before we start talking?
15.
Yeah. See? He remembers that because it was too recent. That's why.
That's not enough.
My brain is terrible, so I'm surprised I remembered anything. And I was overseas, so I have no idea what planet I'm on right now.
Yeah, how much jet lag are you under right now? Which time zone are you in?
Somewhere Greenland. We'll call it Greenland. I'm almost back.
You're in that time zone that doesn't exist. Is it GMT that doesn't exist?
No, GMT is the standard UK. 0 meridian hour.
That's like London's GMT.
Yeah, what's the other one? The like essentially 0. It has a 3-letter acronym, but it's not technically a time zone.
Oh.
I'm sorry I did not prepare for this time zone quiz that is interrupting my quiz that I was attempting to run. Everybody guy fails. Here, who is just a guest. I don't know. I may have to eject him if he keeps interrupting me here.
I'll find my way back in. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Okay, so question number 2 for Ryan. What were you the champion of in your introduction that I wrote for you in the primary episode?
Champion of?
Yes. You don't remember it at all, do you?
Like I won something?
Yes. You actually won 2 things. I would accept either of them. You don't remember it, do you? Number 1, you were the youngest person to go 20 meals in all of Kansas without a fork-related accident. Number 2, you were the Northwest Kansas whistling champion for boys age 5 through 7.
Northeast.
Northeast. I think I said Northwest on it, but whatever.
I think you did, but
yeah.
Can we get some certificates printed up for this?
Oh
please?
my god! Yeah, we'll get some certificates online for that on the website.
I mean, that introduction, Joe, I don't know if you've heard it. It was in the first episode. I spent days perfecting that.
The first three words haunt me to this day. Although potentially inbred.
Potentially.
Yes, it had to be potentially, because I didn't want to make it seem like he absolutely had to be. Just infer it. But do you remember what you were eating outside the Rite Aid?
No.
Moon Pies and Jolt Cola.
Oh, I knew the beverage, but I couldn't remember what the food.
Is that even still obtainable?
No,
we did a whole joke about that for episodes. Right now, our celebrity cage match is actually sponsored by Jolt Cola, so that's our whole fake advertising thing. So
that sponsorship money is just raining down.
The actual, if you go to repressedhumorissues.com and you click on season 1 celebrity cage match up in the navigation, it actually has something that says sponsored by Jolt Cola, sort of. Pretty please, Jolt, sponsor this or we'll start drinking Surge. So, okay, last question to see if Ryan was paying attention. What was getting castrated in episode 3?
A hippo.
Whose hippos, though?
Pablo Escobar's.
Yes. Okay. So you're paying attention to that one. That was cocaine hippo castration episode.
That was our best performing Instagram image. For whatever reason, people love the shit out of that.
People like plural, like more than one.
I think it's like 31 or something like that likes or something like that. So everything else
29
is
bots.
No, they're all real, Joe.
And it only cost Ryan $4 per vote.
No, I got that down to 50 cents.
So what you're saying is you have some very cheap friends.
Well, we sponsored a child in Africa, so anyway.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Didn't want to bring them over here, just wanted to keep them over there. That was your plan, right?
For 50 cents a day.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys cover the important news on this channel. This is great. Hippo castrations. Like, I had no idea these things were going on, but I feel more informed now.
Oh.
Well, realize we did a bit about how there's somebody that actually has to go and castrate Pablo Escobar's hippos because he had his own zoo with hippos in them. They don't want the cost of taking care of the hippos anymore. So I don't know if they spay or neuter hippos. We took it to castrating them. It was easier that way because they wanted this to be the last generation of Pablo Escobar hippos. So
I guess you could also put like giant diapers on them, some sort of kind of like chastity belts. That would be kind of fun.
Hippo chastity belts. Look that up on Amazon, Ryan. I'm not putting that into my feed that I start seeing hippo chastity belts coming out in my ads everywhere.
That should blend nicely with his fetish churches.
Yeah, I'll look up hippo cock cages.
Yeah. If I end up with ads for on the website for hippo cock rings, it's done. I give up.
Oh.
We found our sponsor.
I would like name drop a cock ring maker, but I don't know one. So
yeah, but they have to specialize in hippos.
Yeah. There's so many. Never mind. Let's not unpack that further.
Okay. So what are we talking about today, Ryan?
I don't fucking remember anymore. Wait. Things that we all do that we don't want to admit that we do.
Yeah, that are too embarrassing to admit, but we all do them. And if you remember the episode where I had to talk about how I had to shit in the box, we talked about how everybody, when they take a shit, looks back in the toilet. It's an extension of that. The idea being that you're too embarrassed to tell anybody that you do it, but we already know that you do it because everybody does it.
Well, yeah, it's like part of a normal health check. There could be anything in there. There could be like a toy car in the toilet. You just got to make sure that you know what's coming out.
you're the one that's carrying your shit around national forests. I don't know. You would seem to be an extension of this that goes much farther than either of us do. Because I'm looking for size, I'm looking for color, and I'm looking for texture, just to make sure I'm healthy.
Is this a diamond, Dan?
Yeah.
Color,
if you
clarity.
didn't know, Dan's shit is like the Arkansas Diamond Park. You just get to sift through it, and maybe you'll find a diamond.
There's a loop hanging on the wall of Dan's bathroom.
Are you saying that I'm so stuck up that I can shit diamonds? Is that what you're saying?
Or you're no better than Arkansas. I don't know.
I'm confused by that whole train of thought right there. So, but I mean, we can admit that one's a simple one. Everybody does that. But we want to talk about other things that everybody does. And one of the ones that I thought of was how everybody, when late at night or when nobody's around, is just drinking from that milk carton or that orange juice carton or eating directly out of the fridge, not wiping down, just putting it right back. Everybody does that.
Yeah. I do it more with
that
like
squeaky noise.
Oh, it was my.
Was that your back?
Yeah. Yeah. My back relieving all the pressure. Thank God for lumbar support.
And he's dead.
I do that with like when it's just a little bit left, but I don't think I start with it that way. Like and not milk, but like a juice typically.
Oh, I will open up a new one while one still has like just that little bit left at the bottom, so I don't have to drink that little bit that's left at the bottom.
Are we talking
juice? Is this juice or milk?
Milk.
How long are you keeping your milk in the fridge?
Oh no, we go through like 4 gallons a week here. Okay, I just have very bad food OCD issues where that bottom little bit is where all the crap's left over that I don't want to drink.
I don't think that's a thing with milk.
Yeah, what
I don't think it is either, but my brain does.
Milk?
I don't want to know what other white substances there are in my refrigerator that I don't understand where they came from. No, Ryan. No, Ryan. No eyebrows. No eyebrows.
Ryan's like, you want some?
What's
your fridge wearing today?
That's like the SNL skit, where the commercial that they did where the Mercury Mistress, where the guy's in love with his car, except it's a refrigerator apparently. And I don't want to know what you've been doing with the ice maker. I just don't.
But I get 4 gallons. Isn't there like only 3 people in your house?
Yeah, not 4. No, there's 4. It's bad that I had to recount to think of that. And realize since I became lactose intolerant, I don't drink hardly any milk at all anymore, but we still go through about 4 gallons a week.
Oh. It also wouldn't surprise me if you continue to drink milk, even now being lactose intolerant.
No,
I feel like that would be a Dan thing.
So realize he's talking about some of the intricacies of my diet that we've talked about. I actually can't because I bloat so bad I hurt afterwards now if I drink too much milk. Oh. So that's one of the things that I've had to adapt to, even though my mind says I can't eat my Fruity Pebbles without milk.
So
Fruity Pebbles, yes.
Does that mean you've now adopted nut milk?
No. Ryan, stop it!
The video where they scream at him. the little nut milking farm.
My daughter and I, she's 12 years old. We had this discussion about how nuts do not make milk, and she giggled like crazy when I said that. So everybody gets that one. Let's move on from the whole milk thing because apparently it's just a slander Dan thing if we continue talking about milk. So what other things?
The tables have turned. So I have one that I'll admit to because I don't care. Crop dusting in the large crowd of people, especially like if you're walking through Times Square, New York, let it go.
So what's the there's I feel like there's so many ways to approach this, right? It could be like highly strategic if you're just trying to introduce chaos and be like as destructive as possible. Or are you just trying to like blend into a crowd of anonymity and spread blame as widely as you can?
It's both. It's both.
All right.
It's absolutely both. But it's also a third. It's a health thing. It's better out than in. So.
Well,
there's a variation of this though, and that's when you're in an elevator and you fart, and then somebody gets into the elevator afterwards, and you just pretend you didn't fart, even though it stinks to high heaven in there.
I mean, I had a moment with a dog on the elevator today where it farted and made eye contact with me, and then was like, "The door is closing." I'm like, "Great, I have 4 more floors to go with this."
Wait, was it just the dog? Like just the dog moseyed into the elevator?
No, it was like the dog and the owner, but the dog like farted and then made eye contact with me, like, "Hey, bro, this is gonna stink."
Wow, he's asserting his dominance.
Oh,
that's respectful.
Please say it was a big dog and he had eaten somebody's burrito recently.
I don't know what he ate, but confirmation was made within seconds. It was not pleasant. It was a Samoyed, or however you pronounce it, the white dog that looks like a American Eskimo dog. Yeah.
That was the best part of that dog's day.
Asserting anal dominance in the elevator with me today.
Yeah. Wow. I think we just found the title for this: Asserting Anal Dominance.
All right. So does anybody weaponize? Like, let's talk about rage farting. Does anybody weaponize their farts?
I did not know this is where we were going to go with this one. And rage farting was not a term that I was familiar with.
Well, add that one.
I cannot say that I rage fart at this point, mainly because I do not have the carnivorous vegetable intake to be able to get to that level. But Ryan is losing his shit over there. Not you know why? Because he has done this. That's what the term was for it, but he's done this.
Fucking tears coming out of my eyes. Oh my god. Oh, that got me. That totally took me off.
I don't know. I think we could just end right there on the terms asserting anal dominance and rage farting. I don't think we can top that.
That's been another great episode.
I gotta write this down. I don't want to lose this title.
Joe, that was fucking awesome.
I feel like there's a story in there.
I want to know, obviously, Joe has thought about this enough to know that he's done it. So, Joe, tell us.
I mean, look, if you gotta get rid of something, first off, like, you could put it to use. Put it to good use, right? There could be there could be times and places where you want to deposit this god-awful green cloud, and sometimes they can.
Yeah, we used to call them blue mist alerts.
Oh, fuck.
This is also, I have a buddy of mine that we travel with all the time. We're cheap when we travel, so we'll share rooms, beds, sleeping bag on the floor, tight quarters, whatever, right?
Oh, there's Dutch oven stories coming here.
Oh yeah, but it'll get worse at dinner, right? If you eat something that I know, I'm like, fuck you, Owen. Do not eat that. Oh, you're gonna eat that? Oh, I know what I'm gonna eat. This is gonna be a great night for both of us.
See, in my house, I'm gonna admit it. I have a problem with barbecue chips. I love barbecue chips. Barbecue chips do not love me. We just know to stay away far enough from each other when that is going to happen, that the dust cloud that comes out of there is not shared. It stays in my corner of the couch. So I can't say that I've ever weaponized a fart like that.
Give it a try.
I'm thinking of all the opportunities to do that now. We have chinchillas that are assholes. I just wonder what would happen if I just let it fly right out inside of their cage, what exactly they would do. I mean, I've scared the cats off of the bed before. You fart and they jump, but I want to see what the chinchillas do, because that's just the chinchillas. You don't really see their anal secretions, call it whatever you want to call it. So I wonder how they would take something like that bad. I'll eat an entire bag of baked Lay's barbecue chips and report back on exactly what happens.
So Lay's, if you want to be a sponsor.
Yes.
Somebody at the MSPCA is intensifying right now.
So I got another one, and I don't know if you guys even eat gummy bears, but I can tell you every single time, at least the first one out of the bag, most of the time, I'm biting the head off of the gummy bear before I eat it.
Yeah, you're alone on this one. I eat the shit out of gummy bears, but
we're talking about it's like this big, right? It's like
well, they come in different sizes.
But which size are you talking about, Dan?
Whatever size. I'm chewing the head off before I eat the rest of it. Always.
Is this like the problem child that like shaves their Barbies' heads and like rips their appendages off? Is that kind of the path that we're on?
No, it's just fun to torture them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I've done it forever. And it's just like I giggle in my head when I do it too. You guys don't do that at all?
No. I mean, yes, but it's not my modus operandi when I'm eating gummy bears.
Then what's the fun of eating gummy bears?
The flavor.
Okay, there's a difference between gummies and gummy bears.
But I'm bougie. You know this. I get all of mine from Germany.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wait, so do they have faces on them? I'm just thinking, I don't think there's anything that I eat that has the likeness of something living.
Gummy bears have faces on them. They have eyes, they have a nose, they have ears.
Last I checked, salmon kind of looks like salmon.
But he doesn't eat it with the face on it.
Yeah, I tend to not rip the face off. Usually it's just a lot of crunchy stuff.
The crunchy bits.
Oh, and my food issues are just coming back to haunt me right now with that statement. We've talked about bad bite syndrome. I have bad bite syndrome where if you bite into something and it's not the texture that you expect, like you bite into chicken and you get that grizzly bit, or I got a bone like a week ago in processed chicken. It was just like a sharp end of a bone that jabbed me in the gum. We ate chicken again after that, and I had to pick through every piece to make sure there wasn't another bone in it.
But you kept eating the chicken.
I kept eating the chicken, yeah.
Savage.
So
okay,
I have one from. It probably still would exist today, but I don't have a basement presently. But after you turn the lights off, sprinting upstairs as fast as you possibly can to avoid whatever's in the basement, likely some entity or monster that you've made up in your head. Always did this. We actually had a pretty scary basement growing up that wasn't finished for a long time. So it was just like, cavernous concrete walls down there. And the stairwell had darkness on either side of it. So you never knew if somebody was going to come from the left or the right, but you just bolted straight up.
But you knew there was somebody down there.
Yeah.
Well, because this is Kansas and everybody has an entity living in their basement, obviously.
Wait. Okay. I need some more detail about this basement. Was it a concrete floor or like a dirt
concrete floor? Concrete floor.
Okay. And then the foundation walls, were those like field stone or was that concrete?
Concrete as well. Yeah.
Oh, this is not a scary basement.
Oh, that's a bunker.
It was pitch black.
Sounds like my bedroom growing up.
But I mean, I like this is like born out of like the Nickelodeon show, like Are You Afraid of the Dark and stuff like that. Like I'd watch those kind of thing. Yeah.
Home Alone. They had the heater in the basement that was monster.
The furnace. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And when that guy walks up the stairs and steps onto that nail, for years afterwards. I was watching for nails on the stairs.
I think it was a movie called, this is not in my childhood, but my teenage years, called Stir of Echoes, I believe, with Kevin Bacon, where the chick's being dragged down the stairwell of the basement and her nails go into the wall and go backwards into the wall. Yeah.
All right, so this
Okay.
did happen to a friend of mine. He was trail running in New Hampshire and stepped on glass. And he was in trail running shoes, which are like, they're not,
Those are thicker, right?
they're thicker. Yeah, it's not like mountaineering boots. It's a pretty substantial bottom, and the glass went through his foot.
That's what she said.
Okay, so I had this thing all the way up into my 30s where when I went to bed at night, if there was a skirt on the side of the bed, I had to jump into the bed to avoid the monster coming out and grabbing my legs.
Oh, a bed skirt. Got it.
Yeah.
Not
Why,
like a
you
hula
thought I
skirt.
was wearing a skirt to bed?
Let's not rule that out. They're not mutually
Yeah.
exclusive.
Wouldn't put it past you, Twinkle Toes.
Just don't tell my wife.
Just like toss a cloud of sparkles as you hop into bed.
Yes, that was
Did
it.
So did you leap like with one leg out first? You know?
Yeah, it was
Or
always,
did
I had to leap from as far away from the bed as I could, but know that I was going to make it on the bed, because the disaster is you don't make it onto the bed and then the monster can grab your legs.
Did you ever?
I mean,
miss the bed?
it has to be a dark bedroom with some sort of cover at the bottom of the bed, where if I put my feet under that, something was going to eat my feet. And it lasted into my 30s.
But that takes me mentally to the sleep paralysis monster. Has anyone ever had that?
Ooh, like actual sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that once. That was terrifying.
Yeah, I had it. So again in Kansas, same house, but I was on what would be the second floor rather, and behind my door, after my mother said good night, in my brain she was saying good night and closing the door, there was a what looked like a Nosferatu looking figure telling me to shut up, but in a demonic voice, and I couldn't move or scream or anything like that. Yeah.
Oh,
Was
no.
Carry On My Wayward Son playing in the background or something? Supernatural joke. If you don't get it, I get it, but supernatural joke.
Yeah, I don't watch WB.
Did you burn down the house?
No.
No, because it was all made out of concrete. He couldn't burn it down.
Well, that's just the basement. The rest was burnable.
Oh, and you know this because you tried.
I was the magnifying glass kid that used to line it up and pop ants all the time. But
Did you do that?
oh yeah,
Man,
you
you
guys
guys
puff of smoke.
You guys are straight up serial killer material. This is awesome.
My mom had to stage an intervention for me, because remember the Tyco train transformer with that little switch on it? I used to take ants, drown them in salt water in a cup, and then take that thing and zap them back to life. Like real Frankenstein type shit. My mom found the glass with 3 dead ants in it and asked me what I was doing, and I explained it. I was 8 years old, and that was it. My Tyco train set was taken away.
And he never saw his mom again.
But
wow.
Okay, so moving on to the next one. There's 2-ply toilet paper, there's 3-ply toilet paper, but nobody uses toilet paper without folding it over a couple of times. Nobody uses toilet paper flat on their hand, right?
No.
They talk about the commercials about use less. The fluffier the toilet paper, the more that I use.
Ooh, all right. So do you guys ever dip in the toilet? I've heard this. I feel like I may have done that at times. Yeah, you've never heard about this?
Like your balls?
No, not your. I mean, I don't.
You
I guess
teabag your toilet?
You would have to be squatting real hard, or you have some enormous balls, or there's something deeply wrong with your toilet.
Yeah, it's always overflowing.
And we're back to asserting anal dominance.
I feel so bad for all of our respective plumbings.
We've talked about how I'm a mass producer.
No,
Let's just not go there again.
Don't
mass
do
producer.
It. No, don't.
If you're not a mass producer unless you've actually had to lift off a little bit to get the last little bit out.
God, this is nothing I ever
No,
wanted
that's
to
not
have.
even humanly possible.
Like,
It is.
That is not. That's no.
Let's
You
That's
didn't see
back
the
to-
South Park episode with the 144 Curricks?
Wasn't this one when they found out that Bono was actually the largest piece of shit in the world?
I thought it was Tom Selleck. Oh, sorry, not Tom Selleck, Tom Cruise.
No, he
It was
the
one
fudge-
of those.
He was the fudge packer.
Yes.
Anyways. So,
No.
but-
You dip in the. So you do do your best, right?
Yeah.
We're talking a situation where there's no bidet available. You're basically pinch hitting for a bidet. So you do your biz. You clean up as best you can. You're still not really satisfied.
Huh.
So you take a little extra toilet paper, do a little dunk, just get it wet, right? And you use that for the
But
clean.
it's shit water.
I know you flush in between.
Okay, you didn't
I mean, I'm
say
assuming
that.
this is a multi-flush process.
Okay.
That goes without saying.
We needed that clarity and context,
yeah.
just so you're aware.
So
I mean, you could not flush if you really wanted to, I guess.
It just defeats the purpose at that point because you're smearing it back on at that point.
Oh god.
Or if you're a planner type, right? You could do all this in advance, right? I guess you could kind of like lay out your toilet paper sequence, have like a wet one ready to go.
I invest in the biodegradable, safe for plumbing wipes because
They are not safe for plumbing,
That's
though.
definitely not safe for anything.
they are these totally are. They're the good ones.
No. They still create the turdbergs.
No.
Yes.
Look, it's kid tested, mother approved. It's not Kicks, but anyway.
I'm just gonna say, okay, I'm particular about my asshole. I'm making sure that I'm cleaning it with. He just took out his headphones. I'm cleaning it with the softest toilet paper that I can get. I don't care if I'm going to get dingleberries afterwards. We'll clean that mess up afterwards. I'm cleaning it with the softest stuff I could possibly get. Okay.
All right. Hold on. So
It
do you have
sounds
a
like
bidet?
no.
Okay, you get one immediately because you have a
Yeah.
deep relationship with your butthole, which I respect. And Amazon can help you take that to the next level for about $40.
Realize
Yeah.
with the Wish purchase I already have that I showed you that you were so interested in, I think I should do it off of Temu, not off of Amazon.
Oh, Sheen by far. But yeah, Tushy. Invest in a Tushy. It's worth your.
Is that a bidet? Is that a
Yeah.
brand?
Yeah.
It's just a little dial, right? You have it on
Yeah,
the side.
it's
the
a
cap's right
dial.
on top. It's
You-
great.
they even sell the one that you can plug in and it heats the seat and has a dryer built in so you can dry your anal cavities.
I don't understand how people exist without these. They are a delight.
So, I did some work with a major plumbing corporation. I'm not going to talk about who, but they put us up in a place that had all of their latest stuff, and they had one of those robotic toilets.
Yes. Does it talk to
Yes.
you? Does it like sing to you or whisper?
Like the Japanese toilets.
It's the Japanese ones. It never sang to me, but it was doing things that I needed an instruction manual to understand, or at least a quick installation guide.
Oh, it had the tornado.
Refresher
It had like
course.
the tornado sprayer.
I just wish it would have warned me
Twister.
ahead of time. Yes.
It's a little mechanical tongue. Does it do both the swirl and the kind of lapping motion?
Joe, just so you're aware,
It
you
does
may
the
not be allowed
ABCs.
back after this. Because you've
Mission
thought about
accomplished.
this way too much. Just so you're aware, there's an unhealthy amount of thought you've put into this.
Now,
I'm not done yet. I'm just getting warmed up here.
I will say the one bidet that doesn't make any sense to me, and I've figured it out, but the ones in European bathrooms where it's just like the toilet with no
the trough.
lid.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't understand that. It's like not enough pressure. It looks like a water fountain, and I just don't understand. I just don't get it. And then
I
like
don't get it either.
there's like they put a washcloth next to you, and I'm like, and then there's a bin, and I'm like, really? Are we? Anyway.
All you have to do is you put your finger on like you did to the kid when he was
Nope.
drinking off the water fountain and so that it fires the water out harder. I wasn't saying put your thumb in your butthole. That's not where I was going. I was saying over the water spout.
I'm gonna stick with the Totos of the world. I think they have it figured out. The Japanese definitely have their bum game on point.
So sidebar, I was skiing in Japan and group trip, and as we were coming back, everybody was one by one getting sick with what turned out to be Hong Kong flu, which is really nasty. It's like H1N1.
Oh.
And I was so everybody's incrementally getting sick at different times, like on the plane, at home. I am in the airport. We are waiting to board, and I'm getting fever chills really badly. So I spent 2 hours in the bathroom just sitting on the heated toilet because it was nice and warm.
Yeah. I used to, based off of being mass producer, have to go to a gas station to be able to go for a while because it was wrecking our plumbing. And that was the solution. Was when I was ready for that business, it was time to go to the gas station. So,
have you been banned from a gas station?
No, but realize you have to be covert about it. It's not like you go up and say, yeah, listen, I plugged it, go solve that. I have plugged toilets in malls and my kid's karate dojo and other places, though.
Like
leaving a path of destruction.
Yeah, Ryan's flustered here because he wants to get off of this conversation, but he's realizing that this is probably what our 7 listeners want to hear.
This is a lot of bodily fluids and functions that we've covered so far.
More than ever. More than ever.
We could go somewhere else.
I could take it in an adjacent direction because you were talking about your fascination with your butthole. Let's talk about tick checks.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know if you guys ever have to do this. We get a lot of ticks in the Northeast.
Yeah,
so if you go out, and ticks are nasty, right? Like you just don't want to. So it behooves you to do a tick check, which when you're kids, like usually kids will check each other out. You know, you like
a monkey
flips through your hair and stuff. Right. Yeah. What do you do when you're single and you need to do a tick check?
Magnifying glass?
What? No, you got places that you can't even see.
Or a mirror. A mirror. That's what I meant.
Complicated. Much easier to just take pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are the pictures I want my wife finding on my phone.
So Joe, I actually
basically a grinder profile.
I'm gonna one up you here because the picture thing, yes. If you screencast it to your TV and do a live,
yes.
Wow.
Oh, I had a friend who did
Zoom
this accidentally.
Meeting, find a friend.
I had a friend who did this accidentally. She's a really odd person, and she like sort of ended up on a first date that she didn't even realize was a date. Ended up taking this guy back to her place, was not feeling it, and somehow she started screencasting photos on the TV so they could talk about something. And then she went to the bathroom and she was texting her friend about like how awkward this guy was and how she really wanted him to leave, but she didn't realize that she was still casting to the screen. So she came out and the guy was gone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, this is a good time to plug somebody that could sponsor this. Nutcare.com, which is the maker of bear nuts, can remove all the hair to make it easier to find ticks.
What? Which hair are we talking? Are we talking about butt hair?
Pubic hair, all that.
Bearnuts.com.
Oh, wow. And now all of a sudden, this break brought to you by, as both Ryan and Joe are looking on bearnuts.com at how
frantically hitting the buy button.
What, Dan, why are you assuming that I'm looking it up and I don't already own it?
I don't. I'm just looking at Joe's face to try to figure out how they're showing testicles without showing testicles.
No, they don't. They don't show it.
They're rubbing it on their hand, which is hilarious because it's like literally the one place that nobody would ever have hair. This is like at the juncture of their thumb and index finger.
Oh, they on the Instagram thing they show rubbing on chest hair just to show it how it works. But and then if you buy it now, you get a free hand mitt to take off the excess when you're done.
Oh yes.
The excess what? Blood? I don't know these things. I don't know.
It's not like it like pulls skin away.
This takes your skin clean off. It's a very refreshing feeling.
I mean,
nothing like a clean skeleton.
I'm just worried about that glove being good for other purposes later on. If everything's cleaned up down there, I mean,
Well, it's not going to be an oven mitt.
Hey, you can't have a tick problem if you don't have any skin.
Huh? 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 Huh?
I think it's more the ticks aren't your problem if you don't have any skin.
Well, so to help us soldier past the bodily hair and excrement discussion, the one that
We'll come
I
back to it. We
I know.
will come back to it.
Well, this is
Fear
maybe
not.
only me, and I'll do my best to describe it. But I'm a terrible parallel parker as an example. So like my anxiety goes through the roof. Anyone in the car cannot talk. I usually make most people get out of the car because it's just a problem. But what I do is I turn down the music so I can see better.
Oh yeah, everyone knows this works.
It absolutely works.
We're MapQuest guys, right? I think
Yeah.
we're all guys, right?
Yeah.
15, 16, 17, we're driving around and like your directions are pre-printed. Your path is pre-planned, and if you deviate, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So you got to turn the music down when you're getting close, because how else are you going to see where you're going?
See, and I can tell you, I'm not one of those people because I very early on in my driving career was working for a company where I had to go all over Northern Ontario. And when I mean all over, I mean all over. So I was for 2 summers in a row in my car, in the car they gave me, just with a map, not even directions, just a map and a list of places to go. And I had to find them. And you just learn how to do all of those things, how to parallel park without having to worry about the sound, how to find how
crunching
cities
sounds.
are laid out.
Well, like I think it even applies to like if you're trying to go to a friend's brand new house and you don't know the address, you turn down the music so you can see the house numbers better.
But I
But
just
you still
don't
do this. You still do this.
Oh yeah,
Like present day.
100% present day.
How loud are you usually listening to? And is it music or podcasts or like it's Britney Spears, isn't
It's Lady Gaga to be fair, but telephone specifically on repeat. But
it? Yes.
it's it's a moderate volume. It's not blaring. It's not like somebody could hear it outside the car per se, but loud enough. And especially if I have a passenger. If it's just me, it becomes a little easier to quote unquote navigate. But if there's somebody else in the car for whatever reason, like they ruin it, the volume has to go down, or they have to get out of the car.
Do you ever make noises while you're doing this? Do you kind of like whimper while you're turning the wheel?
No, I a lot of expletives come out. And just, what the fuck? I can't fucking do this. God damn it! Oh, you're such a fucking idiot. Like it's a lot of self-deprecation.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So Joe, what's your dangerous song in the car? The song that if it's playing, you're suddenly going to be doing twice the speed limit without realizing.
Oh, I have this.
Ooh.
Mine's Motley Crue, Kickstart My Heart. It's just that song will just have me racing. A lot of Metallica stuff will do it to me, but that song just with that deep bass to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been listening to a bunch of Master of Puppets lately.
Yeah, that was still tight, and that album all the way up and through to And Justice for All was great. Then it became so radio playable bullshit.
Yeah, but it was so good. That stuff will live forever. We've been listening to a lot of Meshuggah on our way to like extreme winter activities. That'll get your blood going. Because this is also, by the way, usually at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, mine is it's a few things, but the one that's consistent is Fuel by Metallica.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that one I kind of lose where I'm at and I'm just like in it because it's such an easy song to like mentally bob your head to and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, same as Hero of the Day. That one just it's not that fast of a song, but I will lose all conscious. I'll lose the ability to know where I am, what I'm doing. I just love that song. I saw somebody put it to a tribute to Wendell Clark, the hockey player from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Toronto Maple Leafs are my favorite team. The visuals just take me away.
I also have Spit It Out by Slipknot. That one gets me going pretty fast.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, I've got a good one, which our audience listeners will be deeply disturbed when they
Notice
hear.
how he's saying "our."
I
Well,
like it. I like the
yeah.
ownership. This is great.
Both of
That's
them.
good.
Both of them,
This is for
which
both
is
of you.
us.
This is for when we listen to ourselves later. Brian, did I send this to you, Ryan? There's just a magical track out there by a group called Pepper Coyote, and the track's title is "No Cock Like Horse Cock."
No.
Oh yeah,
And you listen to that with a bunch of guys in the car, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, this is a strategic move of like
no
when I put this
horse.
on for my car audience. Like people have no idea what they're getting into when they step into my car, and then this bad boy comes on.
No horse like horse cock. What'd you
No,
say?
no
Sorry.
cock
Nope,
like
nope.
horse cock.
No cock
Oh.
like horse cock.
Okay, I see it now. I will listen to this.
This is a true gem. I got to tell you, it's actually quite snappy. This is a good like shower song to sing. Hopefully at the top of your lungs.
Okay, so bringing that up though, do you guys sing in the car?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Do you pretend that you are not singing? Do you look straight ahead and try not to move your mouth while you're singing, or or do you just let it out?
No, the whole car is bouncing up and down.
Yeah, it's an opera. It's like.
I could just see you with half the weight mask on your face doing Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, well, more like Italian tragedies, but anyway.
For years, until they started coming up with the laws, I would be singing in the car with my phone up against my face to make sure people didn't know that I was singing in the car. It looked like I was talking.
Even with people I just met, I have no problem like going into song. And if I know that they're good, if they join in or if they question me, but you can hear them humming a little bit, you're like, all right, we'll get you there.
Oh, it's a test. I like it.
Oh yeah. It's probably like one of my faults maybe is I'm constantly doing those little tests on people to see if they align with me. If they get along. Dan, you failed every single one. I don't know how you're still around.
This is
sadism.
I have a test now. So I told you guys I was playing D&D yesterday. We're in the middle of a campaign, and like we're getting to that good part where there's some solid character development. Everybody's coming up with some creative like backstories and your quirks. And like one of the quirks I had coming out of the gate was that so I'm a rogue halfling, and I steal doorknobs. Usually at like highly inconvenient times, and the party. So this is like incrementally usually been more disruptive to the party, which I thoroughly enjoy. But the like the character backstory is that I do it specifically to fuck with people and see how they react. It's a test.
I love that. That sounds so up my alley. The nerd side of me is just like getting excited because I mean I've never played D&D to be fair, so I can only relate from all the different RPGs I've played. Like I do have a standard character name that I put into anything at all.
Clown College Boy.
So if I look up your Steam handle right now, it's going to be showing as like online for the last 3,482 hours.
Yeah. I'm that guy. I wonder if I don't know if my Steam account shows that name or not. I'd have to remember how to log into Steam. But yeah, I definitely have one. But I used to be a big Baldur's Gate, Diablo person, StarCraft, all those kind of games. But I never did the actual board game. I never had like the right group of friends to do that with. So it's like somebody would have to teach me. I would be willing to spend many hours doing that because if I can play Risk for 8 hours, I can probably do D&D.
You'd love it.
So
you'd have fun with it.
So I actually played after we finished our D&D phase. We played Marvel Superheroes. Do you remember that one, Joe?
No.
They actually had a D&D like game that was just Marvel Superheroes. You made your own heroes on the exact same concept. The problem was that it didn't really work well. Because you could only get like 2 or 3 people to play at a time because there weren't a lot of people that were going to go invest in Marvel Superheroes at that point. And I was a huge comic nerd at that point, so I had to play that. So we only ever played it twice, but my character development was impeccable.
Nice. Yeah, I could see you putting some time into that.
Yeah.
All right. I had a good one. So you were talking about hiding with your phone, right? You're using
I'm
your
talking
phone
about
to hide the
not letting
fact that
people
you're
know.
singing.
Yeah.
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 All right. Do you guys talk to yourself?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. All the
Out
time.
loud or
Dan?
in my head?
Either
Out
one.
loud.
It's an open-ended question.
All the time.
Okay. All right. Great. So we're definitely all psychopaths. Do you get caught talking to yourself?
Yes, I have been caught.
How often?
At least once a week.
My conversations are all in my head. I don't speak them out loud, so I don't get caught.
So you
unless one of the other parent people in my head hears me talking to the other person and decides that they want to be upset by that.
Do you actually, when you talk to yourself, do you like answer your own questions? Are there two parties involved?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys are definitely murderers.
Yeah.
All right. So here's mine. Do you ever, I do this. Do you ever put your headphones on while you're walking around outside so that people think you're on the phone having a conversation on the phone when you are just talking to yourself?
Yeah. This is a weekly thing that I do pretty much like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon when I just need to step away from the desk. I put those in, and I have to talk through certain circumstances out loud with myself, just to get through them so I don't stress out or melt down or whatever.
I don't have that. I headphones are purely tactical to me, so I've never done that. But now I'm just going to go walk around with my headphones just hanging loose, like the end connector, just hanging loose, walk around my house talking to myself and see what my wife says.
Well, that might be the dead giveaway.
So we're going to run out of time here soon, but one of the other ones that we want to talk about that Ryan talked about in prep for this that I think that's interesting is how many of you stalk your exes online?
Fuck.
You had to know I was going to go there.
You got it at least a little bit.
Yeah, you have to.
And I don't. I have all of my exes blocked, so I don't have to see them on social media. And
but it doesn't like end the curiosity, right? Does still, like, I've also, of course, blocked them all. I actually don't really have any social media, so that's that I don't get very far. But I'll still look, even though I know I won't see anything remarkable.
Admit it. You've got a Twitter account just for your wag bag.
I used to. So I had
look
a
how
Facebook
much I
account.
filled this one.
You guys are gonna love this. I can't remember if the account still exists. We have an account. All right. Story time. I was turning 30 and I went out to San Fran to hang out with my buddy Dave for my 30th birthday, which was just an absolute ridiculous week. He had just gotten a drone. Drones were like still kind of cool and interesting back then. So I was like, all right, let's kick this up a notch. Let's strap a dildo to the front of this drone and let's fly it around San Fran. Like, let's just see what happens. So first we had his wife drive Dave and I to the dildo shop. Where we, of course, asked for guidance. We were looking for a dildo. We wanted one that wasn't too heavy and one that we could like duct tape to something. So that you can imagine, like, the shop owner was deeply disturbed.
You need like a peg.
He got rid of some excess inventory that day, didn't he? Here's average white male dildo.
Yeah, it was called the First Mate. I still remember this dildo. All right, so the First Mate had its Virgin Voyage duct taped to the front of this drone, which we then flew around a golf course in San Fran until eventually somebody called the cops. And now we have a Facebook account memorializing all of this in perpetuity, named appropriately Richard Sampson III, otherwise known as Dick Sampson.
What was it, hanging from the bottom or sitting on the top?
Oh no, this was an erect dildo protruding directly out of, like, you could attack someone.
Oh, the front.
Dildo.
The front.
Yeah. It was kind of great because the camera was on the front and the dildo was underneath it. So you got just a little bit of the tip you could see in the camera. But then if you hit the brakes really hard, the dildo would like fly up wildly and you just get this full shot of a First Mate dildo.
Another title for this episode, Just the Tip.
Yes, that's it. You found it. Happy birthday. That was my happy birthday crown.
So fucking awesome.
Yes.
There's a guy.
It gets so much worse.
There's a guy in Kansas. I heard this on the radio a couple of days ago. that they don't know who he or she is. I should say there's a person, not a guy, that is depositing dildos from a drone in random places around a city in Kansas. He sticks them to the water tower on a regular basis. They will appear in the most inconvenient possible places. They know it's a drone because they've seen the drone actually depositing them, but there's dildos all over the city apparently.
This
doing God's work.
I love that Richard Sampson III is a stay-at-home parent that lives in Moscow, Russia.
Yes.
But is from Sweden.
Yes.
I'd like to know how we got from stalking your ex to Richard Sampson III.
So because this is the only thing approximating a social media account that I can sort of claim to have is this Richard Sampson Facebook account.
Oh, this is amazing.
Oh my
God.
Good.
Okay,
Wow.
well, getting back to the question that I asked, because Ryan was the one that talked about this originally. What is the purpose in stalking your ex? Because for me, I could tell you that pretty much every relationship that ended so badly that we just never needed to be part of each other's lives ever again. I'm wondering what's the allure to going and checking out somebody's social media account? I mean, I go onto Facebook and I'll see somebody that looks interesting, go look at random people that I have no relationship with just to see how the other side lives every once in a while. But I'm quickly out of there and never look at that person again. I'm trying to figure out what the allure is here.
I don't want to admit it.
Deeply rooted psychological issues. Trying to derive some sense of dissatisfaction by another person's misfortune, hopefully.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like, I think it depends on how it ended, right? So I think there's going to be circumstances where you're like, you wish them well, you want them to be doing well,
But you
and
don't.
you secretly want to be like, they got a flat tire today. That's because of that one time they made me eat boxed macaroni and cheese.
Like uncooked,
just
crunching on
generically. Oh, but then there are the times that there's like the vindictive side, but you don't want to admit it out loud. So by doing it yourself, you don't have to have any perceived bad karma on yourself. So you're just seeing that, they're in jail.
Yes.
Well,
Oh.
that lines up.
But you're going to hell either way. We're all our souls are stained for doing that because let's be honest, like you want to see them having not the best time.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see them have a little bit of unfortunateness.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like life ending or threatening, but like the petty shit is actually the best. Like then you're just like, fuck yeah, you had that coming.
Maybe Dan used their toilet and now their entire house is flooded.
If it's still flooded though at this point and they're posting it on social media, that says a lot about the people that I dated, doesn't it?
Well, I harken back to episode 2, puking starfish boy.
I wasn't going to go there.
Well, I think that maybe those people could still be having that problem today.
You've told me about how several of your relationships have ended, Ryan. I don't think we want that competition on air right now.
Well,
windshield wiper.
Oh yeah, they went to
jail.
yeah. They did go to that one.
Wiper.
We can go a little long. I can tell that story really quick. Okay,
we can go very long.
I was not trying to get into the story, but if you want to tell it, you go and tell what you want to tell.
We are going
story time. So when living in Austin, Texas, I dated someone who was a little beyond themselves, full of themselves first and foremost, but they also liked every kind of drug available. I was not aware of that while dating them. I'm pretty ignorant to that stuff, to be fair, so call me naive, whatever. All of it was happening in front of my face, but I had no idea. Anyway, one day I had a friend come in town and took him out, but didn't invite my ex along. They took great offense to this and decided to go on a rager around Austin. And where they eventually got was, like something like 65 missed messages from them,
Oh,
125 missed
oh
calls,
yes.
like wild, crazy shit. And I'm just like, God damn. Obviously, things ended pretty shortly thereafter, but I get a call at 3 in the morning from the Travis County Sheriff's Department,
Were
county
you
jail.
awake? Were you still awake?
No,
Right?
no, no,
This
no,
woke you
no.
up. Okay.
I was woke up because I got like 3 calls in a row. I was like, "What the fuck? I don't know this number." And then said, "Please, will you take a collect call from?" And then and I'm just like, "Okay." So
Holy shit.
I take this call and I get the
This is
uh
the nuns and the orphans are on the bus. The bus is on fire traveling down the road, and he needs to see how this ends. That's when
but
you take
Yes.
that call.
I mean, well, I was pissed at that point, right? But I took the call and I got their version of the story.
They told
And
you on the phone?
well, it was that my ex that was telling me their
Oh,
version.
oh, oh. Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
this was
yeah.
like an officer. Okay.
Nah. So I go like I go to collect them, and beforehand, the officer has to tell me everything that actually happened in the police report, and I have to sign a few documents and all that kind of stuff. And in it was a very descriptive situation on Congress Avenue in Austin, where my ex had tried to carjack an Uber driver
With
of, with a fake gun
a
in
finger
their
gun.
pocket, a finger gun.
Finger gun.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then when the Uber driver obviously said no to this,
No,
uh,
thank you.
they proceeded to rip off the windshield wiper and then try to use that to get the Uber driver out. Unsuccessful. And now cops en route, like blocks away. The best decision then is to sprint into a nearby parking garage and hide behind some electric meter. And that was the end of their evening. But
Was
they were on 7 different drugs, is
did
what
they
the
did they
UA said.
panel? Did they
Mhm.
run like a full drug panel? Was that like
Yeah,
document?
yeah,
Oh my god, 7.
This
yeah.
Wait,
this
was
reminds
this
me. Go
I
ahead,
have
Joe.
so many I have so many questions. Was this their Uber?
No, no, no. It was just somebody else's Uber who was physically waiting, and these people were about to get in the car. From what the report said, it looked like the people for the Uber were physically coming, and my ex had a different decision at that moment, and that was to try to steal said car.
So the
Um,
end of that, where he's hiding behind the electric panel, if you've ever want to see one of the best Monty Python skits ever, they do the Olympic hide and go seek tournament. Go look it up on YouTube. I'm not going to wreck it. I'll post it up on the website later. But it just reminds me of that moment where he's just standing behind the panel, and every once in a while you see him come look around the panel to see if anybody sees him.
I
it
don't think I've
was
seen that.
it was a wild first in my life. So yeah, I can say that my ex also made the news because of it. So
Oh, it was on the
Yeah.
news. Oh, that's good. What okay, so hold on. I just need to know the situational like when you went to sleep, right? You've got a million messages.
yeah.
Had you already made the turn to this is over and I'm just now
Oh yeah.
fascinated by like how deep this rabbit hole is going to go?
No, so like I had not been able to relay back to them that we're over. Instead, it was fuck them. I'm ignoring all their shit, and but then I got this different phone number rolling up, and I'm like, and this is before do not disturb mode existed on cell phones,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
everything was just coming through. um and I was just like, well, what the fuck is that? So then curiosity killed the cat, if you will. So yeah.
So these are apparently all things that everybody does that they don't want to admit to. I can't say that windshield wiper person was an expectation that I had for this episode, but
Now
it added some
they have,
color to it.
to be fair, they have blocked me, so I have no access to their social media.
So you haven't set up a secondary social media account to be able to stalk them?
I have not, but
You can use Richard Sampson's account. That's really all that exists for at this point.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, no, I have not thought that far outside the box, because it was just like what's done is done there, and it's best I move forward.
So, I think we're at the end of this episode. Are we not, Ryan?
Yeah, I think so.
Please say we're at the end of this episode. Please, please, please.
Okay, we're at the end of this episode.
I have so many things I have to explain to my wife after she hears this.
Oh, she listens. That's good. But I do want to take time to thank our special guest, Joe. Thank you for coming on. This has been miraculous. Is the only word that comes to mind. So thank you for coming on today and helping us get through another episode of Repressed Humor Issues. You can find us where all the different socials are found. So at Repressed Humor Issues on Instagram, repressedhumorissues.com. Email us at repressedhumorissues@gmail.com or clowncollegeboy@gmail.com. Jesus Christ. Oh, and then RHI_podcast on Twitter.
Correct.
I finally got it. I got one.
And we're also we're starting to try to do some TikTok, putting up some of the stuff from the episodes on TikTok as well. Gradually getting there, not fully there yet.
But as always, send in any ideas, comments, questions, concerns. If they're concerns, just send them to Dan.
Goat's emails go to Ryan.
And Lemon Party, it's all Dan.
You guys do need a fax number. I think that's the only thing you're missing.
I think, yeah. But yeah, okay, I'll look into a fax. I'm sure I can find a machine at like Goodwill. There's a plug for Goodwill too if they want to sponsor us. But anyway, so thank you all for joining us. And until next time, stay classy. Seattle. Seattle this time.
Yeah.
Well, I did Cleveland last time, and you chastised me.
Why Seattle?
For the first thought that came to my head, I also have like a coffee from Seattle today, so I'm like,
They do have a lot of poop problem. Their homeless issues are profound. I feel like they could relate to this episode.
I think,
Joe, are we only going to bring you on when we're talking about shit? Is that what's going to happen here? Is that the methodology?
I mean, I have other skill sets and topics that I can discuss.